Me from the national capital. Abhishek, when you spoke to those people here, they still do not have a bank account. At around 4 this evening, Prime Minister Narendra, alright, I believe Sidhant is with me from the national capital. Sidhant, we just saw that report where Abhishek spoke to people here in the national capital who yet do not have a bank account. You know, at around 4 this evening, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be launching the ambitious financial inclusion program, Pradhan Mantri Dhan Yojana. Of course, it is expanding the scope of financial inclusion. Every household will have a bank account and accident insurance cover 1 lakh rupees. What sort of reactions are you getting, enthusiastic reactions from people on this new initiative by the government?
Nancy, I'm standing at Vigyan Bhavan, the place where the Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi will be launching the ambitious Jan Dhan Yojana at 4 o'clock, and this is the place where the event will take place. I have been talking to people since morning. Of course, bank account is an important necessity for everyone, and perhaps many of us in the urban area might just find that bank account is a simple issue, but a large portion of this country, a large mass of this country don't have bank accounts, and that's the aim of the government through this policy, that everyone should have a bank account, because this bank account will not only serve as a purpose for your money savings, all that, but it will also be for transferring government schemes, subsidies, and also government not only wants a bank account just for transferring of money, but also for transferring other facilities, and perhaps housing for all these schemes will be linked with it. But before that, I'd like to give a small nugget, a small interesting piece of information how Jan Dhan Yojana, the name was coined. Well, mygov.in, the website which was launched just 2 months back, where for improvement of governance, so that the common man can talk to the people in authority. Well, there was a competition to name this Yojana, and Jan Dhan Yojana, after 6,000 entries, Jan Dhan Yojana was the final name which was announced that this was the name. But coming to the Yojana, government has been previously also trying for financial inclusion programs. There have been many programs since many decades. But what differentiates this program from the rest of the program is the fact that this time around the focus is just not on the rural areas. This time around the focus is also on urban areas. Of the many bank accounts which will be opened, they will be opened in rural as well as urban areas. So this is banking for all, just not for certain class, and anyone who has a bank account can open it. The only criteria is that the household should not have a bank account, only then. And right now, government's policy is to have 1 bank account, and that's the minimum the government wants to aim right now, 1 bank account per household. But government wants to increase to perhaps 2 later on in the future. So that is the aim of the government through this policy. And there are other things associated with it, like as we saw in the story also, the RuPay Debit card, also insurance cover, and other such facilities will also be provided. So this ambitious program will see many other things associated with it, and also technology will also be a crucial part of this, because financial inclusion, it's not possible to have a bank everywhere. There are hilly terrains, there are inaccessible terrains in this country. So technology will be a key part of it, and we will see some of the technology associated part of this being inaugurated also, like mobile banking associated stuff like that. And the government wants to move from mortar and brick banks to banks through banking through your mobile. So technology will play a crucial role in this scheme, and we can see association of Digital India program, which the government has already announced, being associated with this scheme.
Right. Sidhant, you just mentioned about the technological aspect of this. You know, just a couple of days back when Financial Services Secretary G.S. Sandhu was speaking to the media, that's what he said, that the aim of this program is to convert this cash economy into cashless and digital economy.
Yeah, so of course, yesterday also I had a talk with the banking secretary, Mr. Sandhu. He emphasized on the fact that technology will play a crucial part of it, and given the fact in past few weeks we have seen government increasingly using technology as a mean of governance. We saw when the Planning Commission, the Prime Minister wanted ideas what kind of body that should replace the Planning Commission, the announcement which came on Independence Day. He went to the net. He used the net. He asked people to give his ideas, give what they want to him, direct association with the common masses, with the Prime Minister. So technology will play a crucial part. One another thing I like to emphasize the fact that the speed at which things are being implemented in this government. Well, the scheme was announced on 15th of August. That's the Independence Day. One of the major points from the Independence Day speech of the Prime Minister was Dhan Yojana, and implementation is just 15 days. Within 15 days, that's today. So government is moving very fast on lots of things, and we can hope that government's aim of financial inclusion will be achievable. The target will be achievable through this scheme. The scheme basically is divided into two phases from the 15th August 2014 to 15, and the next year will follow. And there are many other nitty-gritty points, which obviously with the big announcement will come at 4 o'clock, which everyone will be looking forward for. And it's not only that it's happening in Delhi also, it will be happening from district level, state level, capital levels, and also in 76 centers across the country.
All right, Sidhant, Sibal, we have to leave it there for the moment, but of course we'll touch base with you in our subsequent bulletins. 4 o'clock this evening is when Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be launching that Pradhan Mantri Dhan Yojana here in the national capital. With that, time for a very short break here, but more news and updates on the other side. Do stay with us.
देशवासियों, अगर बैंक में खाता नहीं है तो आज ही नजदीकी बैंक शाखा या शिविर में या बैंक मित्र से संपर्क करें।
वाह भैया जी, क्या शुभ घड़ी आई। मुन्नी